Good morning, Fountain Street Chapel. It's a beautiful day to be alive, to take a breath, to recognize that we are one with each other, one with all of creation. We thank you for joining us in this service today. We also wish you a happy Mother's Day. If you're a mom, if you have a mom, we celebrate with you. I wave hello, happy Mother's Day to my mom. She and my dad have been watching these services now that they're online. That's a beautiful thing, so thank you. Happy Mother's Day to Liz, my wife, with whom we have two wonderful children, Ezra and Anna. Our theme for today, I'm really excited about, is bringing new life to the world. And honoring that spirit that gives birth, that spirit of motherhood. And we're going to be hearing from some of the younger voices that are connected to Chapel, who see the world with different eyes, who see the world with eyes that we can no longer see it with, or with fresher or newer eyes that we've never seen it with. So I'm excited to hear about the ways that they will help us inhabit and form this earth in new ways, and ways that they will help us live out our chapel promise, that you can create the life of deeper meaning and greater value your heart desires. It will take practice, and help is available. I want to also read this poem from chapel friend Carolyn Coble, who wrote it as a piece that she drummed with as well. Sometimes you gotta break the pace, break the flow, move into space you do not know. Call on a deeper part of you and find a way to move on through. Seek to know another way, another phrase, another word to say. Learn to be outside yourself. Try out the ways of someone else, for this is the way we truly grow. Move into space we do not know. Set aside our fixed beliefs so we may find welcome relief from limits that we have self-imposed, from stories that we've often told. Getting out of our own way, remembering just how to play. We have a few announcements today. The Fountain Street Church Secret Goods and Services auction is ongoing right now, so I invite you to check out that page. You can find it at fountainstreet.org or at the page specifically listed on the screen in front of you. Please be generous in purchasing things from the auction that will help you and that will help Fountain Street Church as we seek to free the mind, grow the soul, and change the world. There is also a free movie access link that you'll see there for the Hiroshima Children's Drawings, a story of hope and reconciliation that's connected to the message that was brought at the 11 o'clock service last week, and some artwork that we were supposed to have around that story. So take advantage of that powerful work. And then finally, on May 31, we're excited to welcome our senior minister candidate, Mariela Perez-Simons, to the pulpit at Fountain Street. And we'll hope actually before then to have a chance for chapel folks to have an informal conversation via Zoom with her. So look for an announcement about that. Next, I am excited to have the Assarians sharing with us what life is like for them in this pandemic, including a poem that Katie Booms Assarian wrote at the end of that presentation. And following that is, of course, our amazing and marvelous chapel band, along with special guest Hannah Laine this week, and the song The Rhythm Changes.
What do you say to people? What do you say to anybody?
Yeah, what do you say to anybody right now?
I don't know.
Keep going. Yay.
Yeah.
Good job, you.
I miss Fountain Street. I miss Chapel. I miss the band. And I'm glad that we put that together because we should support our band. felt very proud of us, and I'm looking forward to getting back to Fountain Street. I don't like this. I don't mind being home with my kids all day, and I don't mind trying to work from home unsuccessfully. But I miss going to chapel, and I miss all of the people that I would see there, and I miss trying to remake all of my social life over Zoom, which is just not as satisfying. We've been making a lot of pizza at home. I don't miss that, because that's actually been a good part of the pandemic, because we do get to eat a lot of pizza.
Well, we feed them vegetables.
Yeah. And Andy asked us what gives us hope. Hope is hard right now because there's a lot of suffering out there that we don't have to go through. And there's a lot of people out there that are hurting. So what are you gonna tell them, right?
Well, and particularly to parents too, I think it's an extra special kind of hard right now to have a bunch of kids around, and whether you're lucky enough to have a job that you're working from home, or if you're going out to a job where it's scary because you don't know what you're going to bring back to your kids. And I do love my children, but they are just here all of the time.
Yeah. But they're doing okay.
Yeah, they're getting lots of long walks outside. They're getting books with mom and silly songs with dad. And we are getting all the cuddles.
Yeah.
Maybe more than we want in the middle of the night.
Yeah, they really need to stop doing that. I don't know. And yeah, I think talking about hope is a little weird, just because I have an understanding of how rough this is, again. And we can find hope in our communities and the people that we love and that surround us. And we, as I think a community, are... Are you okay, buddy? I think we as a community are extra well equipped to handle that because we've built that. We've kind of built that community, and I got one thing. I have hope in our new senior minister. Yeah, you tell her, Lanie. Yeah, we saw her welcome video for Fountain Street, and I think that she's the kind of energy that we need right now. So there's something hopeful for us and for the community and for Fountain Street.
And I think while we're waiting on hope, I think you and I have done well finding joy. So maybe we're leaning into that in the meantime. Like we dress them up in outfits. They have a bee costume and a flower costume, and then we let them chase each other. Or we've got a flamingo war going on in the neighborhood, and Steve and I are both leaning into sitting quietly reading and writing. That brings us both a bunch of joy.
And weirdly, meeting people in the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've met more neighbors, because people are just so bottled up to talk. I've probably met more neighbors in the last month than I have in my previous 4 years living here.
And not just John and Jennifer, who we do see every time.
Every day. Almost literally every day. We'll chat, and I'll say, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. Like, it's kind of funny that way.
Yeah.
But yeah. Listen, we're in an odd time right now. I'm actually reading a book by...
Steve is reading about the Great Depression while I'm reading about New Orleans post-Katrina. So
it's really, I think it's going to inform our time here very shortly.
Yeah.
And I think mutual aid is going to become a lot more important. And that's really like looking back on the Great Depression. Because the book that I'm reading is the Studs Terkel book from the 70s. So it's people in the 70s looking at the Great Depression in retrospect. And they actually talk a lot about that. Like, there's a lot of, like, we don't truly understand how traumatic that was. Like, we understand that it was a thing, but it was a thing that with none of the social safety net, the inadequate social safety net that we take for granted. So it's a very interesting kind of a book to be reading now in this kind of time.
Both the books are really about what are we learning from what's happening now. Everyone's talking about it, revealing the cracks and inequities in society. So there's the mutual aid piece of what can we do to financially and through infrastructure help people. But there's also like, what do we want to carry forward from this? What do we need to change?
Looking forward to coming back and seeing all of y'all again. Not mitigated by Zoom. And that's, if I were to hope for anything, I think that we can build a community like this would be any kind of source of hope that we can grab onto. So, all right. Well, I think we have to put these kids down and go eat pizza.
We do. I do also have a poem for you that I'm going to show you next that is about the daily life of parents during coronavirus, or at least of our specific kind. We don't know as much, like I said, about folks who are still going on in the house, or people who have older kids they're trying to homeschool right now, single parents. Much love to all of you because it gets rough out there. All right. Bye.
Frozen mixed vegetables. It's time to eat again. Didn't we just feed them? I watch one child patiently sort through the mixed vegetables that I have put once again on the tray before him. He picks out the green peas to eat first, one at a time, a feat to balance each one in his tiny fingers. We will find the green beans later, stored in his cheeks, for hard times to come. Our other child, meanwhile, grabs fistfuls of food, pulls in all she can get toward her mouth or anywhere near it, a cascade down her shirt and into her chair. She pushes piles to the far edges of the trays like she is a windshield wiper, and when she is done, she swipes the tray clear with her full arm, shouting. As for my nutritional intake, I have to remind myself. A pandemic is not the best time to pick up loose hygiene habits, like living off the half-chewed Cheerios we find everywhere in the house. It is a mixed blessing to be raising a young child during a quarantine when, like always, but now we know, no one else is coming to save us. The mixed part is you cannot break down. And the blessing part is, since you can't break down, you don't. Much. Parents are held together by the schedule as much as we are trapped in it, as surely as the children cling to any of our available body parts. We faithfully observe the small daily rituals. Wake, eat, play, work, nap, eat, play, nap, eat, fuss, rock, sing, sleep. My partner likes to quote the saying that you don't take care of your children because you love them. You love them because of the work of caring for them. Right now, all of us needing caretaking. There are also plenty of opportunities for all of us to fall in love.
altar they leave us. Somehow, no matter what happens, I'm here. The time, the seasons, the weather, the song, the music, the rhythm. It seems no matter what happens, I'm here. Daylight seems bright because of the night, the change we need, so we can see our love, our beauty, our genius, our worth, our triumph, our glory. Won't worry what happened before me. I'm here. Our love, our beauty, our genius, our worth, our triumph, our glory. Won't worry what happened before me. I'm here. Our love, our beauty, our genius, our worth, our triumph, our glory. Won't worry what happened before me. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Thank you again to that great new piece from Hannah Laine and the Chapel Band. You know, Mother's Day for some of us is a really hard day. We've lost our mothers. Some of us had mothers who were never there for whatever reason. Some of us wanted to be mothers but never could. We suffered miscarriages or for other reasons could not have children. So for a lot of reasons, for a number of people, Mother's Day is very challenging. And so we want to honor that and recognize that in the midst of what for many is a celebration today. And as we look at the history of Mother's Day, there was a Unitarian Universalist, Julia Ward Howe, who actually was the one who gave the impetus to start Mother's Day, and that was around protesting war and sending our children off to war. It was initially called the Mother's Day of Peace when it was founded in the late 1800s. And her proclamation said in part, "Our children shall not be taken from us, to unlearn all that we have been able to teach them of charity, mercy, and patience. We, the women of one country, will be too tender to those of another country to allow our children to be trained to injure and kill their children. From the bosom of the devastated earth, a voice goes up with our own. It says, 'Disarm, disarm.'" Those are the roots of modern Mother's Day, and the roots that connect us as a church that is connected loosely to the Unitarian Universalist Church through our clergy and other ways with Julia Ward Howe and the Origins. Today I also ask us to remember the mother of Ahmaud Arbery, 25-year-old who was killed while running in a neighborhood recently. An African-American young man, yet another in a line of African-Americans who are killed for doing something that most of us would take for granted, unarmed, running through a neighborhood. We remember him. We remember the many who have been unjustly killed at the hands of racism. The list is far too long for us to state right now. And we work to change the world so that mothers will no longer have to mourn their children who are killed due to violence. So that's our candle of remembering today. I invite you to either light or to imagine that you're lighting that candle of remembrance and to hold a moment of silence. And then as we remember, those rememberings pass through us, pass through our community, pass through our world, and become that which we keep, that which we hold on to, that which we dream about, and those ways in which we wish to change the world. The hope of a new, different, less violent world that will bring us new life, and that nurtures that life into its full flowering. That is our candle of keeping today. As I said earlier, I'm really excited about our special guests today, who are going to bring us those kinds of life-giving words from the perspective of those who are younger and are giving us life, those whom you, in some ways, have nurtured. And so our meditation this morning comes from Daisy Kirkbride. Our offertory comes from Laine. And then our teaching moment will come from Quinn Block, Anna DeBraber, and Lucy and Lanie Stegeman. I invite us to listen carefully to these voices who have so much to offer us, to teach us, to guide us into forming new life in this world.
May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings rejoice in the well-being of others. And may all beings live in peace, free from greed and hatred.
Hi, my name is Laine. A message I would like to convey to the world is that inspiration is always there, can always be found in things like art, all kinds of art, or wherever you're looking in nature and beautiful things. and it could be inspiration to change yourself or change the world. So I took a video of myself playing the theme song from a movie titled Howl's Moving Castle by Hayao Miyazaki, and the song is written by Joe Hisaishi. And this movie is about a wizard who is very powerful, but he is afraid of certain things and runs from his responsibilities. And when another person named Sophie comes into his life, she changes his outlook and motivates him to change himself. The movie itself and this music, this theme song, are very artistic and beautiful and inspirational to me. So I played it to try to spread the inspiration and give it to other people.
My name is Quinn, and here are a few things I would like to see change or improve on in the world. So, a few things I would like to improve on in the world are for people with differing opinions to be able to come together and work together, because I think it could make a big difference in different ways, and doing that is going to create, like I said, a bigger difference than if you were to do it alone. Also, it's probably not as fun. Also, treating each other with kindness and respect is very important. You can put yourself in someone else's shoes, or even ask that person, like, why do you have these views? Obviously in a respectful manner, but like, where do you see things? Like, why? And maybe get some background on why they may understand things different than you might. And I think it could open your eyes to not only how they understand and see things, but also open your eyes to new opinions for yourself. Another thing is being friends with people. I think even though you could have different opinions, I'm sure you have different opinions with some of your friends. I'm sure someone you know has different opinions than their friends. And obviously they're still friends, so they can come over those things and really do what makes them happy together, rather than worrying about the things that they don't enjoy about another's opinion. Also, right now, and really any time, for a friend or not even someone you know, really understanding how your actions can affect others. negatively and positively. Such as if you were to do something that maybe is going to not harm someone, unintentionally harm someone, or you could lead to the risk of another, or doing something positive such as reaching out to a friend to just make sure they're having a good day, wish them a good day, or posting something positive that you think could be helpful for others because it's helpful for you. Or I know I've painted rocks and put them around my neighborhood, and people seem to enjoy it because people are going on a lot of walks right now, and it's just a little surprise. Even though it's a rock that has paint on it, it's something a little special to spice up your walk. So that, just keep in mind that your actions can impact others, and that you shouldn't reject someone's opinions, and just try to see where they're coming from and try to work together to understand each other. And that's kind of just what I would like to see in the world.
Hi, Fountain Street Chapel family. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Anna DeBraber. I am currently an environmental science student at Michigan Tech, and I'm a big worrier. I'm kind of type A. I've tried so hard not to get rid of the belief that if I worry about things, they'll somehow be easier when they come. And I guess sometimes that's true. Maybe I catch something that other people don't, but most of the time I just feel lonely and sad when I'm worrying all the time. And for those of you who are also worriers, you know that COVID has just been a field day for worrying. And when I first came home from spring break and they told us that we wouldn't be going back to school, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't really do my schoolwork. It was if I freak out enough, then maybe people in my family won't be hurt. And if I wash my hands a million times, and there's some truth to that, but it was destructive, the amount of worrying I was doing. So I've been forced to reckon with the worry in a big way, because when something so crazy like this is happening, you just can't take on all of the worry. It's too heavy, for me at least. It's too much. And I'm worried about my grandparents next door. We live in a duplex, and I'm working landscaping right now, and I just don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I've really been forced, like I said, to reckon with the worry and to face it down and to say, I don't have to engage with you. I don't have to. And it's not helpful, and it's not good. And that is just the message that I want to put out to you and out into the world, is that we don't have to worry. And if you're doing as much as you can do, you can set it down. You can let it be.
Our futures will be bright if we all work together for a healthy planet and healthy humans. Better together.
Far end of town where our story left off, a small boy stood feeling aghast. The monster's tale was sad and uncouth. How could this be? Is this really the truth? There were truffle trees, swami swans, baboons, I can't even imagine, declared the small youth. The boy took the seed and said, I'll plant this forest. You'll see, I can bring back the Lorax. And he did just that with some care and some patience. The truffula grew back, and oh, what a fragrance. They all came back, the hummingfish, bare-bones, swami swans, and even the Lorax showed up with a yawn. Look at this forest, you did a great job. You cleaned up the mess, the glob and the slob. Then out from his treehouse, the old one-seller spoke. Let's start up production. I'm old and I'm broke. But this time, said the one-seller, let's do this right. Let's plant lots of trees and keep this site bright. So the one-seller, the Lorax, and the boy worked together, and they got along great, like 3 birds of a feather. For each tree they cut, the boy planted 5. This helped keep the forest safe and alive. Now, many years later, at the edge of town, no longer does the griffle grass glow on the ground. The wind smells sweet and the animals play. The Lorax is thankful for this beautiful day. And truffulas grow in a happy, bright forest, and the Lorax, he trusts that we do care, we must.
Friends, I'm so grateful that you've joined us today, that we've been able to be together, that we have worked at this creating a life of deeper meaning and greater value, that we have practiced together, that we have helped one another. I invite you afterwards to join us in the Zoom call. You'll find a link here in the chat on our Facebook group page and in the email that was sent out this week, or send me an email, a private message, Facebook message right now. I'll get you that link. Close with this poem by Victoria Weinstein. It's actually a prayer. We reflect in thanksgiving this day for all those whose lives have nurtured ours, the life-giving ones who heal with their presence, who listen in sympathy, who give wise advice, but only when asked for it. We are grateful for all those who have mothered us, who have held us gently in times of sorrow, who celebrated with us our triumphs no matter how small, who noticed when we changed and grew, who praised us for taking risks, who took genuine pride in our success, and who expressed genuine compassion when we did not succeed. On this day that honors mothers, let us honor all mothers, men and women alike, who from somewhere in their being have freely and wholeheartedly given life and sustenance and vision to us. May we all be granted life-giving ways, strength for birthing, and a nurturing spirit, that we may take attentive care of our world, our communities, and those precious beings entrusted to us by biology or by destiny or by friendship, fellowship, or fate. Give us the heart of a mother today. Friends, go in peace and in love. Know that you are held in the sacred arms of Mother Earth today, that you have been and that you are a life-giving one, that you have nurtured life in others in ways that you are aware of and in ways that you are not aware of. Beloved people, may we always be the embodiment of peace and love. I look forward to being together with you next week.